Runaway sequester threats and runaway illegals. My next guest uncovering documents showing the immigration folks were releasing 5,000 more illegals and blaming it on sequester. By the way, cuts that hadn't even formally taken place. That's Janet Napolitano's department, but Homeland Security, Janet Napolitano denying any responsibility. Virginia Republican Congressman Bob Goodlatte, chairman of the committee investigating this mess. Chairman, what can you tell us? What did you find out?
Well, Neil, what we found out was that long before this even happened, they were planning on doing it and blaming the sequester. We found the documents they were provided to us that shows that they want to release 5,000, and it appears that they've already released 2,000 thieves, people who've committed fraud, people who are charged with more serious crimes, people who are in their final deportation proceedings and should be deported from the country, instead released onto the streets and attempting to scare the American people into thinking that it's because of sequestration, when we've actually found 3 or 4 other ways that they could pay to keep these folks locked up, as Congress has mandated that they keep them locked up. They're supposed to keep 34,000 people at any given time. They're 3,000 below that right now anyway, so they're not using all the funds that have been allocated for this. Yeah. Secondly, we found other grant programs that could be easily diverted and used to keep criminals that are supposed to be on schedule to be deported, kept locked up rather than released out on the streets.
So ICE did provide us with a statement. I want to get to that in a second. But is it safe to say a lot of these people who were released were in fact dangerous, not just those guilty of minor traffic violations and the kind of the rap we were getting from the administration?
They're guilty of criminal offenses, and some of them are, the information we have is they are charged with more serious criminal offenses than theft and fraud is bad enough. You don't want those people out on the streets. They're not even supposed to be in the country anyway. All right. But more serious crimes being released when they haven't even been brought to trial yet.
Okay. Now to that ICE statement, Congressman. With sequestration now in effect, ICE must reduce expenditures. ICE will continue to manage its budget in a prioritized manner, ensuring that the focus remains on serious criminal offenders and others who pose a threat to public safety. That might be all well and good, Mr. Chairman, but as you know, a lot of these releases, if you will, were going into effect long before the cuts even came up. So I'm wondering if there was something else at play here. What do you think?
Well, I think that they have been wanting to do this. And
to what end?
They found that the sequestration. Well, first of all, I think that they don't like enforcing our immigration laws, which is a really serious problem. Well, here in the Congress, the Judiciary Committee in both the House and Senate are hard at work trying to find solutions to the broken immigration system we have. And one of those solutions has got to be how we enforce our immigration laws in the future like we haven't enforced them in the past. And now in the midst of that discussion, up to 2,000, scheduled for 5,000 folks that are not just here illegally in the country, but have fit into their category of people who should be deported, which, as you know, is a fairly narrow range of the people who are here illegally. They have to have committed a serious crime to begin with in order to be put into deportation.
You know what I couldn't understand either, Congressman?
It undermines the whole confidence that if we did something here, this president would carry out those laws.
Help me with the budget math here, because the argument for releasing was that it would be cheaper, monitored by obviously, I guess, some ICE official, keeping track of these guys, than it would be to keep them incarcerated or wherever they were. And I can't believe that. If you've got someone monitoring 1, 2, 3, let alone thousands of illegals out on the street, that has got to be a lot more expensive than keeping them all in one or several places. Got to be.
Neil, you are absolutely right. But even leaving that expense aside, they have the resources to keep them incarcerated while their deportation is being processed. And if they want to save money, they should be focused on expediting those deportations, because once they're returned to their home country, they don't need to have that expense of holding them in our facilities.
Well, that's a very good point. You just hit on the point. Congressman, Chairman, thank you very much.